The play, musical, and Broadway production Hamilton highlights the founding father Alexander Hamilton, along with his interactions with other founding fathers who shaped America and brought New York City to life. As for my personal evaluation of the play, I'm completely captivated. I love music already and I love musical production, so when I found out that history could be something that I could sing along to, I fell in love with it even more and I get to learn something every day. Through Hamilton, I fell in love with New York, America, history, and music 10 times more. I believe Hamilton, the play, is a gift to our country. While there are a few unsettling alterations made in the play as to what actually happened in history, it is nonetheless a beautiful, emotional story and the best, well-produced, and well-written production I've ever seen. I'm motivated to unpack the real truths of our country through Hamilton, and that's what I think the real Alexander Hamilton would have wanted. Aside from the greatness of Hamilton, there are many undeniable historical inaccuracies that must be addressed. One of the first slight scandals in Hamilton follows Angelica Schuyler and Alexander Hamilton when they seem to have a mutual affection for each other, which is overshadowed by Hamilton and Eliza's feelings for each other as well. Another major factor that seems to get in the way of these feelings is the fact that Philip Schuyler, Angelica's father, does not have any other sons that would carry out the Schuyler name, and Angelica therefore has to find somebody of high status who will make her family look good. My father has no son, so I'm the one who has to social climb for one. All of these are completely inaccurate. Angelica Schuyler was actually married when she first met Alexander Hamilton, and Philip Schuyler had 3 other sons who could have easily carried out the Schuyler name. Hamilton is portrayed in the play as somebody who is openly and strongly opposed to slavery, which is inaccurate. Although it is true that Hamilton opposed slavery a lot more than his fellow colleagues, it is not true that he was open about it at all. He feared of a divided country, and the Hamilton and Schuyler family owned around 20 slaves. At the very end of the play, Aaron Burr seems to have a lot of remorse built up for murdering Hamilton. He seems to come to a realization that the world was wide enough for both him and Hamilton, and there was no reason to end his life. This is completely inaccurate. Burr did not hold any remorse or regret in his mind after murdering Hamilton. He was happy with what he did and fled so that he would not be persecuted. One of the very first songs of Hamilton states that
you punched the bursar.
Yes, Hamilton punched the Burskar at Princeton College due to an unsettling interaction with him. This is completely inaccurate. Hamilton never punched the Burskar, and this is just a fun addition to the story. During the Adams administration, in the play Hamilton, it states that Hamilton was actually fired by President John Adams.
Adams fires Hamilton.
This is completely inaccurate. Hamilton resigned long before the Adams administration because he didn't want to be in the same party as him. Now, on to 2 very impactful characters who I think shaped the entire story of Hamilton. Elizabeth Hamilton. Eliza is a woman who is a Schuyler sister who is helpless against her feelings for Hamilton. Eliza throughout the play faces many challenges, most of which most women would not have survived. Starting with the harsh public reveal of the Reynolds pamphlet, which contained the details of her husband's infidelity, followed by the death of her son, which then followed the death of his father, her husband, Alexander Hamilton. Despite these setbacks, Eliza lived to be 97 and lived her life with impact and strength through it all. Eliza worked to make sure that all the Founding Fathers' stories got told, and that they were honored in the way that they deserved. Eliza opened the first New York orphanage, slightly to honor her husband's orphan background. Above all else, Elizabeth Hamilton was a strong and resilient woman who never let anything bring her down. Aaron Burr was a very patient individual, this trait, though, ultimately being the downfall of him and others around him. Aaron Burr is introduced as the narrator of the play Hamilton. We get to watch closely as rage and anger builds up inside of him based off of feelings of envy and jealousy towards Hamilton. Burr is portrayed in the story as a sort of tragic hero, with all of his dedication, hard work, and dreams seeming to easily transfer to Hamilton without, in his eyes, any real hard work or dedication as much as he put in. Overall, at the end of the play, Burr let his jealousy get the best of him. His laser focus on Hamilton and his accomplishments stopped him from ever getting his own success in the way that he wanted. Overall, despite the play's minor inaccuracies, Hamilton is, in my opinion, one of the greatest and most honorable plays to ever be on Broadway, and it perfectly romanticizes the greatest city of the world.